Okay, here is the moment of truth for Gold Top 2 SC 400 satin gold top SGT. Now, looking at the box, it seems like there is one piece of tape on one side, and looks like there has been a replacement piece of tape on the other side. It's possible this was opened before it was shipped to me to make sure it was okay. I was curious to know whether or not I was going to find 4 pristine pieces of tape which would have been factory only. Okay, so those, some of that is out of place. Okay, case candy in a bubble bag. That's a much nicer bag than those other types. Okay, let's see who's responsible for this one. No idea. Cannot read that at all. It looks like the screw is again touching the top of the guitar. And the saddle is extremely high. All the posts seem to be secured in well in the same direction. That pickup is quite high and is actually closer to parallel with the strings as they are, even though they're a little bit too high. Fret ends. Wow! Not sharp. None of them. Not even up here. None of those are out of the board. None of the bottom end is out of the board. The nut slots are better cut looking than the first one. These are much higher than 18. Those are probably about 18 on the low side, on the high side. All right. The back looks okay. I think it just needs some cleaning. I see a lot of little spickles, shiny stuff in the light from my windows when I can get the glare this way in the satin, so it's shinier than the satin. Let's take a look at the front. The front gold looks nice. There is some shiny stuff here underneath. Oh, it's actually some debris up here on the top of the gold. Non-D'Addario strings. I can't remember if this is the same kind of pots I had on the first one or not. They look different. I'll have to look back at the other video. And they are sitting off the body a little bit higher than the first ones were. And they seem to be pressed all the way down. Jack looks exactly the same. The tuners, the tuners are still as they were before. They're all kind of sloppy posts. Yep, every single one. So we know that the tuners are no good, right? There's none bent, so it didn't get a bang somehow. So impressive. The fretboard is fairly clean comparatively. I mean, it does need a cleaning, but comparatively it's not dirty. It's not full of buffing compound. That screw is still sitting on the top, and on this one I can tell that this screw here has been drilled much further down than the first guitar that I got. The first one has this screw just below the binding, and there was a second screw hole in the binding. So if this one had been just below the binding, the end of the screw from the top would not be pitting the top. I'm hoping there's not a big mark on it. Okay, this has some promise. It has some promise. Aesthetically, that's what it looks like. Pretty good out of the box. Okay, to the bench downstairs, we know. So I checked my video unboxing of Gold 1, and I am correct. These are different knobs than the first one. These are nicer. I probably will not need to change these. They have a little bit of a taller top hat on them. Straight down. So incoming action, where the fret meets the body, is 7/64 on the low end, 6/64 on the treble end. Now we know that's not really good, right? So here's 16. Let's see what we have. Oh, I also have 18 out. Okay, 16 and 18. Those are my two, right? Let's do the top side. 18. Oh yeah, way over 18. So this nut is not cut too deep like the first one was. It's actually cut too high. And then 16. Oh, 16 is looking pretty good on that side, except for the G string. I think the G string needs to have just a little touch. And but the E seems good. The B, the G, just a tiny touch, and the bass side needs to be fixed. But I know this is a plastic nut, and I know I have white bones which fit perfectly on this, so obviously I'm going to fix that when I put in the bone. Alright, before we go too much further, I want to, oh, and by the way, the screw is not even, it's not in straight up there. You see how it's angled on the side, and it's sort of arched towards the top, but it's very hard to get that into the shot right now because of the way it's looking at it. There, you can just barely see that screw is going in, you know, at an angle. So I'm going to loosen that up. I hope the pit on the front is no worse than gold 1. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they do that. Oh shit, it is worse than gold 1. God damn. See, gold 1 had a little bit of an indent, but it didn't damage the gold. This one does. Because it was, oh, and again, double holes. Double holes up top. Double holes in the light. Double holes. One at the binding, one below. If they had to use the first one, it would have been quite a ways off the top. Of course, it would have been angled up too much, but they always seem to put the hole in the wrong place. The hole needed to be between the first one and the second one that they drilled. Well, they're not learning anything from guitar to guitar concerning this pickguard. And this screw is tremendously long, and doesn't have to be. It just needs to be a standard pickguard screw. Oh yeah, that is definitely a bad spot under the screw here. Nothing I have to touch that up. Okay. I could live with it, I guess. There is a lot of imperfection in the spray. Lots of little pips that weren't sanded out. Yeah. Alrighty then. Let's do something about these. Oh, somebody already buggered up the screw. Somebody already buggered up the screw on this side. It's oh, where's that light? See? It's already been buggered up by somebody using the wrong size screwdriver on it. And I mean, it's set up in the air. I don't get it. It's set up in the air. Luckily, a new saddle will come with new studs as well. Let's see how close down we are. We're not under tension at the moment, but this will give me a relative area of indication of how far down I need to go. And then I'll now do some tuning. Just give these factory strings a quick tug. Alright, let's take a look at the truss rod. It's got a little bit too much relief for me. Let me see where I got with the strings. Okay, that is 2, 3. That's right on 4. And that's still too high on that side, so it's easier to go down under string tension than it is to go up. So let's see. We go down and then we retune it up. Can I hold that? Alrighty. Stand by. I'm gonna plug in the air bridge and see what kind of noise it makes before anything else happens. Alrighty, let's see. Turn on the air bridge. We are live. Oh, this is my good pick from the other bench. There's still a tick, yeah, in this switch. These switches are terrible. This one's also going that way. Just crooked again. Yeah, a little bit. Looks like I'll have to replace that anyway. Makes noise. So that's the basic 65 Deluxe. That's the bridge. The pickup height is probably too high. Yeah, it is. It was more set for the high action. That's an eighth, and an eighth on both sides, so this side has to come up to half of what it was, to a 16th. That is a tiny bit low. Okay, so this pickup doesn't have the plastic. This pickup does have the plastic. It's possible somebody looked at this. This pickup now is the one that's canted forward, probably sitting on its own wire going down through the body. This one is leveled. Okay. Wow, that is so dark with the tone full on. Like I said, there's too much relief in the neck right now for me to really know. As the tension comes up, it's also getting bigger. I can't make an adjustment because the cover's on. That's something I'm also going to have to check. Yeah, so it makes noise. In all sections. That switch is probably better. Not going to fail like the first one. But it is really quite a low quality switch. It wobbles quite a bit back and forth there. Okay, so this guitar has promise. Really bummed about all the way through to the undercoating on that. There are fingerprints all over it, so I know somebody touched it, and in my artificial light I can see that. I washed my hands before coming down. Alright, let me turn that off. Pull that out, and I want to check and see if some of the stuff on the finish is cleanable. It's going to take a little bit. Oop, a little bit. It's leaking out of my bottle. Why the hell is that happening? That shouldn't be happening. Let me wipe off on some of those shiny spots and see if they go away. They are not. So they are in the finish. And there's another, not in the picture, there's another pip in the finish there, which is a raised pip. So all those little shiny spots are not coming off in the finish. Alright, let's check the front and see if the stuff under there is just the dirt which will come off or not. Yeah, that was dirt. And these are imperfections here in the finish. There's, oh, that's just dirt. I thought maybe the chrome was scraped, but it was just dirt on the tailpiece. They have these round screw heads again. I hope the posts are well anchored. Okay, that's looking pretty good on the top. Oh, more pips here. They didn't sand out the top very well. When you hand across it, and you can feel them, no problem. Well, you know, this is one of their low-end budget guitars. But, like I said before, you're already there doing this. You've already, you know, prepared to sand it out to get to this level. It was just a matter of making another pass and getting out these extra pips on the final one that maybe wasn't touched. I don't know. This is the this is going to be the end point for the opening and initial inspection for Gold Top number 2. Catch you in the next release of this and other episodes on my channel.